It's showtime at Homestead, Miami.
Andre Baranowskis at the line, steals it in the Indy 250.
Gordon to Baxter's in trouble, there they go. Gordon to the wall, jumps right around.
Side by side on the final lap, coming to the checkered flag.
Steve Morgan, the last lap half, and the victory in Las Vegas.
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 17 in season number 9 of the NOFSRL Chick-fil-A Cup Series. We are here in the Windy City, Chicagoland Speedway, the Sirius XM 454 laps of action around this 1.5 mile oval in Joliet, Illinois. And even though we don't have a real-life race at Chicagoland, we're going to have one here in the NOFSRL tonight and Sunday over in the New Era Cup Series as well. And they're going to be pretty good. I can tell you that. I got Matt Tuck alongside me once again. Last time we did a mile and a half was at Kansas. I think it's going to play out a lot like that race, only this time it's under the lights. How do you think that's going to affect the outcome of this race, knowing that the track has a lot more grip and these guys are going to be going faster than they did 3 weeks ago?
Well, it should definitely make it a bit more, hopefully a bit more interesting than it was at Kansas, if that even is possible for a mile and a half. You got a colder racetrack, so it's going to be a lot more grip, going to be going through corners a lot more faster, hopefully more three-wide racing, and maybe a little less on the wreckage side. You know, that would definitely be nice, but it should definitely be an interesting one here tonight. Chicagoland, over the past, for a while there, was not the most interesting track, but in the past couple of years, it's definitely come alive here at the racing in the past couple of years.
And, of course, in the NOFSRL, and even when we had the NRLOA behind the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, this track has always been very exciting. I've always considered it to be one of the wildest mile-and-a-half racetracks we have on the schedule, and it kind of has its own character in NR 2003 compared to real life, and definitely looking forward to see how this race plays out. In the championship, and to throw another monkey into the whole thing, it's a very interesting championship battle, because no one's locked into the playoffs yet. Only got 4 races left to go until the chase begins, and you got Sam and Oskin only 48 points ahead of the cutoff. The points lead is really close between all these guys. Shane Lake only 45 ahead, Reagan Whitlock 42 ahead, Alex in a row 40 ahead. The top 4 guys in points are separated by 8 points. That's 8 positions on the racetrack. Could easily switch off just like that. Ryan Durrani, 29 points ahead of the cutoff. Silas Orta, 24 ahead of the cutoff. Nathan Baird, who has been on a roll lately, 23 ahead of the cutoff. Erja Larvin Alonso's had a couple of strong runs. He won 3 weeks ago at Kansas. He is 19 points ahead of the cutoff. Mark Davison, 6 points ahead of the cutoff. And Andrew Miller, 0 points ahead of the cutoff. 2 wins ahead of the cutoff, I should say, as he holds the tiebreaker with Bradley Ream. They're tied for 10th in points. Bradley Ream is behind the cutoff right now because he has yet to win a race this season. He's 0 points behind. Nathan Stapleton is 1 point behind the cutoff. John Arndt has come out of nowhere, all of a sudden 9 points ahead of the cutoff, or should I say behind the cutoff. Not ahead quite yet, but he might be at the end of the night. And Matt Dallio also looking really strong after he won last week, 9 points behind the cutoff. But Dallio currently leads in that wildcard standings, 42 ahead in the wildcard, with Fisher G 7 ahead of the wildcard. Iquan Haslam 7 behind the wildcard. Jesse Turner 9 points behind. Wyatt Quayle 33 points behind. And Thomas Troxel, I'm sorry Matt, 40 points behind in the wildcard, last in the wildcard standings as of right now. We could see a new winner in this race, could add another guy into that wildcard race, and that could really shake things up heading in the Pocono doubleheader next week. So it's going to be wild the next few weeks here, next 3 weeks in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. July 4th, the last race before the chase at Indianapolis. We'll set the field then. But right now, all these guys going for it, looking to have a shot at a spot for a championship in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series season number 9. Jeremiah Dwayne in the number 67 unchartered driver. He's not even in the championship discussion here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. He starts on the pole position for North State Racing in an unchartered machine alongside him. Brett Sierra in the 04. Hasn't had the best of runs here, but a good shot at a first career win in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series for Alan A. Dale Racing. Trey Bartow, been a tough season, had a great run at North Wilkesboro last week. Will be starting at the inside of Daniel McMillan, who has definitely been coming up a lot stronger here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series as of late. Row number 3, a couple of chase contenders, Ryan Durrani and Nathan Stapleton. Then we have Matt Daly, our last winner here in the Chick-fil-A Cup, who's got that throwback win in North Wilkesboro to the inside of Zachary Fitzwater in the number 9. Then it's Nathan Baird looking to back up his win at Portland in his second-place run in North Wilkesboro with another win here tonight to the inside of Jesse Turner, who broke a long losing streak here back in season number 6. That's the top 10 starting positions. Everybody's rolling off. Who do you think is going to win the Sirius XM 400 here from Chicagoland?
Well, this is going to be an interesting race, and hopefully, we see how it plays out. But track position's king here. I definitely think you're going to want to start up front, and I think Matt Daly. I think Matt Daly is going to go back to back and score another win here this week.
There's Matt Dalio, won here in Season 2. He knows how to get it done at Chicagoland. A lot of guys know how to get it done at Chicagoland. We'll see if they can survive the night. 54 laps and we're green flag racing in the Sirius XM 400 at the Chicagoland Speedway. Little edgy in the back of the field, but we are still green as Trey Bartow leads lap number 1 at the Chicagoland Speedway. Bonus point towards the championship for him right there. Brett Sierra to the inside for second on Jeremiah Duane, and here comes Daniel McMillan in the 79. And one thing this track is known for is a lot of adversity, and I think Thomas Tross will just win around in the 35, and he's going to spin Wyatt Quayle in the outside wall, but they're going to keep it together. And those are two guys in the wild card race. They're not going to be happy with each other at the end of the night. Wow.
I don't know exactly. Did Truxell swing it down the back straightaway, and then
I
just
think
come
he got
up
clipped down the
field?
backstretch and ended up coming back on the racetrack into Wyatt Quayle. Of course, Quayle won at Bristol. He's part of that wild card race. But that is going to hurt him tremendously, as he's already deep in the points. Those are the two guys who were lowest in the points of the wild card. And you see Troxell falling back there in the 35. Tough break for him there in the Velocity Racing machine. That's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. He got clipped off and did not come back on the racetrack cleanly at all. Here comes Jeremiah Duane looking to the inside of Daniel McMillan for second. Uncharted driver putting it to these Chick-fil-A Cup Series veterans right now here at the Chicagoland Speedway.
They're side by side up there. Baird got in the wall in the back. Bartow's still up front, but you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful in these mid packs here in the starts of these races, because there's a lot of guys here who are just gunning for all the points they can early in the going, and the tires are fresh. And sometimes it can be, sometimes you can get rewarded for that. Sometimes you can get absolutely punished for that. And we'll see how it plays out here. But Baird's on that. Baird's running that high side. He's got to be careful here. He looks like he'll be good there. Saw him getting the wall coming out. Oh, there he goes again. He's brushing it.
It's definitely tight up there through the field, but they've kept it together for now. Here's one guy who's moving his way through the field, Matt Dalio in the 75. How about Outer Island Motorsports? All their guys inside the top 10 right now. McMillan is second. Dalio and Turner battling right now for the 5th position. Here's Zachary Fitzwater in the number 9 machine, help from Fisher G. This is a good thing for Fisher G. He's holding that last wild card spot coming into this race, but if he gets a top 10 run right here, he's going to definitely boost up in the points in that wild card race. Dalio holds the first wild card, and he's also getting a good run here. He could actually put himself in the top 10 in points with a good run here tonight at the Chicagoland Speedway, but Bartow pulling out. He's led every lap so far in the number 4 machine. McMillan is second. Brett Sierra, Jeremiah Duane, Jesse Turner to the inside of Matt Dalio. That is for the 5th position. Ryan Durrani's up here as well, and Durrani is pretty solid at the moment. 29 ahead of the cutoff, but a good run here could help solidify his spot into the chase later on in the season.
We'll see how he can. Durrani's definitely he's had a strong year so far, but like you said, we got a lot of the Otter Island cars, all 3 of them. I think that's all three in the top 6, so they're going to be ones to watch out for later in this race. All 3 of these guys, they've shown a lot of speed early. McMillan, though, if you go back, chase back up here up front, McMillan, he's not quite there yet, but you can see every lap is just slowly and methodically starting to chop out of Bartow's lead, following him in his tracks to the teeth. It'll be interesting to see how many laps it'll take him to get right up to the back of Bartow and see if he can make a pass for the lead.
And Dahlia's back on Turner. You also got Fitzwater here as well. You got 4 guys who have been in every season of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series inside the top 10 right now. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're the only 4 guys who have been in every season. I think. If I'm not remembering a guy for that, I deserve to get my channel deleted. But honestly, these guys have really done a great job in this one so far. They're really battling in the back here. Ace Garcia trying to get some redemption from last week. He was leading in that North Wilkesboro race and ended up running to the back of the field. He's going to get around Fitzwater. And these guys have closed into McMillan. McMillan, I think, used up his stuff trying to find a way around Trey Bartow. Brett Sear to the inside of McMillan. Here comes Jeremiah Duane in the 67. I got to give a lot of credit to Jeremiah Duane in this one. North State Racing, of course, they got Alexander Road, Daytona 500 champion on that team. I'm sure they've helped out Duane a lot heading into this weekend. Of course, he had a good run in uncharted qualifying. He's pushing Brett Sear to the inside for second on Danny McMillan, and that's exactly what Trey Bartow wants to see here in this race.
Bartow loving the view out of his rear view mirror right now, just out for a Friday night cruise here, out in the lead. Back to the pack, you got a couple Toyotas there. You got the 66, the 05 aren't. And a lot of guys who spread out for the most part, like you were saying earlier. Those first couple laps can be quite hectic, but for the most part, looks like they've started to tone it down here, just more side by side. Much less.
Oh, there was contact between Alexander Rowe and Ryan Durant right there off of turn number 4. And that was close right there between those guys. Going to be interesting to see how they maneuver that later on in the race, if they're going to have a little bit of bad blood from that. They are really... Look at these guys. Teammates there helping each other on the inside lane. McMillan, Dalio, and Turner. I think this is the first time I've seen all 3 of these cars, and I think somebody had an issue. Patrick Smith in the 30 was at the back of the field, so the caution did not come out. But Patrick Smith's all torn up for Anderson Racing. Surprised they've not thrown a caution for any of the incidents we've had so far in this race. We've already had 2 of them, but no yellow here. Lap 14 of 54. McMillan to the inside of Jeremiah Duane for second. Going to take that position back. And Ace Garcia moving his way through the field as well for Hamill Racing Enterprises. Lots of Toyotas up front right now here at Chicagoland. But Bartow in a Dodge continues to lead here. This is the best run Bartow has had all season long. His final season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Looking for one last win here at the Chicagoland Speedway.
See, he's still loving what he's seeing, but it's back to McMillan out in second. And you still got an absolute swarm of Toyotas hoarding over the Dodge and the Chevy there. All the Otter Island cars, and you got Ace Garcia, who's trying to make up for... Sierra getting up there with Duane. Let's see how this plays out here. You know, you got a lot of... It's still early in the going.
Oh, yellow on the racetrack, first of the day, and looks like we got a big one.
Oh,
I don't know what I'm saying. Tristan Allen, Reagan Whitlock. It looks like Iquan has him, the other Anderson car, and the 33 of Eli Bright for his second straight week. Race back to the line. Will be won by Trey Bartow, but that is not what Bartow wanted to see. Whitlock there on the apron as they race back, but he should be out of the way enough where it should not be an issue. Well... that was an interesting first few laps there. First caution coming out late in the going here at Chicagoland. Bartow's led every lap. Do you think he's going to scoot away with this one, or do you think someone else is going to get to him and win this race here at Chicagoland?
Well, he's got to get through the pit stops first, which we'll find out here shortly, I'm assuming, because we're 17 laps in. I don't see, unless you're Alan Gustafson, why you wouldn't pit here. Let's see, I think everybody feels the same here from the looks of it. I don't see anybody not, so we'll see here. Just you gotta get on and off of pit road. Hopefully you don't run into anybody, but if he gets off of pit road, obviously he's gonna have a good chance. But you know, you got to see too, because you don't know how many more of these you're gonna get, which is always, you know, as in any race, unless we're on a road course. You never know how many more of these you're going to have to get, and if you have to come back down pit road. So we'll just see how it plays out.
Yeah, and right now they have about 35 laps to go. Now, 37, excuse me. That's right around the fuel window, I do believe, here at Chicagoland. So that'll make it interesting for these guys. It's gonna be a 4-tire stop, and Daniel McMillan's gonna... No, it's Jeremiah Dwayne who wins the race off, and Bartow is still on the pit lane. Did not have the best of runs there off of the pit lane. Bartow still...
Bartow.
Wow.
Bartow just lost about... And Brett Sierra, too. Both of them, Bartow lost about 15 spots?
Yeah, that was not a good stop at all for Trey Bartow. But Jeremiah Dwayne, our pole sitter, ended up going back to the race lead there. McMillan will be second. Dalio and Turner will be third and fourth. And let me tell you, my friend, if you're Jeremiah Dwayne and you see 3 teammates at probably the most experienced team in the field right behind you, you might want to worry just a little bit. I'd imagine they're going to be working with each other in this race. They're all still technically in this championship hunt. If I'm Dalio, I might want to help my teammate get the race victory, so he has a shot at the wild card. If I'm Turner, I don't want him to win, because I'm also in the wild card as well. But Jeremiah Dwayne's just here to race. He's not in the championship hunt. He's going for the race victory. We'll have to see what he does. First, let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the first caution of the night here in the Sirius XM 400 at Chicagoland in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series Season number 9. Teammates at Full Frontal Motorsports, Reagan Whitlock and Eli Bright getting caught up in this one. Eli Bright with a huge run in the middle, and Whitlock nowhere to go. Shoots up into the 33, or it could have been the other way around. And Iquan Haslam, who's in the wild card race, is going to fall back further in the points over there. And Tristan Allen, I don't know. I guess I may never do a face reveal. Who knows what the deal is, but another tough break for Tristan Allen. He was running deep in this race as it was, and that's just going to send him further in the field. But that is big for Whitlock, because he comes into this thing third in the points overall, only 42 ahead of the cutoff. That could put him deep. That will put him deeper in the points, but that could put him in a threat of not even making the chase later on in 2 weeks. So we'll have to see what Whitlock can do at Pocono and Indianapolis. Not a good run here tonight, though. 2 in a row he's wrecked out in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series.
See, just nowhere. I'm not sure entirely what Eli Bright was trying to do there. I don't know if Todd Gilliland inspired him or something, but just wrong place, wrong time, hooked his teammate. Absolutely. Iquan Haslam took a monster shot there in that 64 car, but tough break there for a lot of those guys. Sure, there'll be an interesting Full Frontal Motorsports. It's going to have an interesting Monday when they get back to the office, but just nowhere to go there for some of those guys. A lot of caught up in the mess between those 2 teammates.
Let's go ahead and see what happened to Patrick Smith as well. A couple laps before that, he was involved in an accident and got some rear-end damage. Reagan Whitlock again in the Patrick Smith, and that should have been a caution. Hands down, that should have been a caution, but it was at the back of the field. They did not find it necessary, and he kept on going, and that eventually led to Whitlock getting dumped by his teammate, Eli Bright. What a wild turn of events at the back of the field, and that's going to change everything up because Bartow had a terrible pit stop. He's now deep in the field for this one, and Jeremiah Dwayne is taking it away. Will the uncharted driver be the first uncharted driver to win since the guy sitting next to me in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series? We're going to have to see. Let's get back to the restart here in the Sirius XM 400 from Chicagoland. We are back here at the Chicagoland Speedway, Sirius XM 400 action from Chicagoland. This is always a great race every year, and with only 4 races, including this one left before the chase, it's definitely a huge one. But the guy leading is a Turkey Hill Series driver, Jeremiah Dwayne, in the 67, advanced on, won the pole. He's trying to do the sweep in that North State 67, but behind him, it's Otter Island Motorsports, and they actually also have their uncharted driver in this race as well, Ryan Benjamin in the 57. But McMillan, Dalio, Turner, and then Ace Garcia rounds out the top 5, coming back to the restart, out of the race. Patrick Smith is 3 laps down. Reagan Whitlock,
here they go, though.
64 and 33, and here we go. McMillan had a run to the inside. He's got his teammate behind him. And don't look now, here comes Alexander Rowe and Zachary Fitzwater. Oh boy, teammates getting into each other. And here comes Matt Dalio through the middle. This is a mess up front, and Dalio's in the outside wall. Unbelievable. Sam Adio's going to run into him. And they're going to stack up Troxel as well, and the caution is back out here at Chicagoland. Wow.
You kind of had a feeling when Daniel McMillan split it and made it 3 wide, and him and Turner almost completely took each other out on the backstretch. You kind of had a feeling that wasn't going to end well, but goodness, Matt Dalio just took an absolute wall rider there into the outside wall.
That's going to hurt him in the championship. He had such a good run in this race. And that wasn't even really his teammates' fault. He had a run. Turner and McMillan got into each other down the backstretch, and that is what caused that 4 wide to get so crazy into the corner. I'm surprised that they were the only... I mean, Ace Garcia in the 81, where is he? I think he was also caught up in that one significantly. He sent him into the wall. See who wins the race off. We do have... I think these are the lap down cars.
Yes.
So they... Actually, Silas Orta is on the lead lap.
Oh.
Silas Orta may be playing strategy. He may be trying for this win, which I don't know why he would be doing that, because he is a chase driver. I don't know if I'd be playing strategy like that. Ryan Benjamin as well is on the lead lap, I believe. Durrani just won the race off the pit lane with Turner, Rowe, and Nathan Faden. So this race just got turned over on its head. Another huge wreck here at Chicagoland. Matt Dalio, who won last week in North Wilkesboro, getting knocked out of this one. That's going to hurt him in the wild card standings, and especially if somebody who has not won a race this season, who's sitting outside the top 10 in points, wins this race. That's going to hurt him in the championship. Silas Orta is your race leader. He stayed out on that caution. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the second caution of the night here in the Sirius XM 400 from Chicagoland. Well, this is what happened with Turner and McMillan. They got hooked down the backstretch, and it gave Dalio such a good run through the middle. But Fitzwater was trying to make a move on Alexander Rowe, and Dalio had to react to it. Rowe had a shot through the middle, and Ace Garcia was there. They were 4 wide, and there was just nowhere to go for Matt Dalio in the 75 in the outside wall, significantly hard with Ace Garcia. That's 2 weeks in a row for Garcia, who comes into this race 39th in points. Garcia's season is effectively over. But nobody got into Dalio until Sam Adio slowly, well, it wasn't too slow. He had slowed down, but it was not enough to avoid him. And then you got Davidson in the 95, Kukalon in the 13, Troxel got popped there as the 13 came back down, and then Andrew Miller in the 24 as well. Heavy front-end damage on his machine. That's going to send Miller into the wild card race, which is going to hurt Dalio a lot now. Dalio could be outside the wild card coming into the Pocono doubleheader next weekend after that one. Tough break for all these guys. Thomas Troxel, another one of those wild card guys. He's already had a rough night. Andrew Miller, a lot of guys who have gotten wins so far this season getting involved in this one. And Sam Adio's season's just been getting worse lately in that 48. And he'll fail to finish here tonight at Chicagoland.
He just 4 wide into the corner there, and as we've seen in a lot of places, just does not work, and Dalio just absolutely took a walloper, and then the 48 got in there. Troxel with nowhere to go. A bunch of other cars gotten some damage in there. I just
realized Silas Orta was right behind all that. He stayed out under this caution. That could get interesting. Oh, boy. Ryan Benjamin there was pretty close to running into somebody. Let's go on board someone here. I think we're going to go on board... I don't know. We'll figure it out, and we'll get back to you in just a second. On board, the number 81 of Ace Garcia behind Matt Dalio. You see Turner and McMillan get clipped, and then you see the run that Dalio gets through the middle. But it all goes down after this right here.
See, from that angle, though, I mean, from that angle, you could say Ace Garcia was almost the cause of the catalyst of that, more so than Alexander Rowe from how much he came down. But either way, tough situation there, 4 wide. Not a lot of room for anybody there.
It was a very tight situation. Oh, Alonso and Nikolai Sykes almost got into it on the cooldown lap. Silas Orta stayed out, and a huge strategy play. You know, I was saying, like, I was a little bit curious as to why they stayed out, but now it makes a little bit more sense. He was deep in the field there. You can see him was probably around 25th or 26th, and he's going to gain a lot of positions. If we get another quick caution, he could be right back in this thing, have a shot at a race victory to keep himself in the chase going in to a couple weeks from now. So we'll have to see if that's the case for Silas Orta, our race leader here at Chicagoland. Let's see what he does on the restart in the Sirius XM 400. We're back here at the Chicagoland Speedway. Not only did Silas Orta stay out, but Wyatt Quayle did as well. And if you remember, back on, I think it was lap 1? Lap 1 or lap 2, Troxel went around in the backstretch and came back up on him. So he's got a little bit of damage. Then you got fresh tires on Ryan Durrani, Jesse Turner, Alexander Rowe up here in the 5th position. And Alexander looking to become the first driver this season to win 3 races. We have to have a driver win 3 races so far this season. Jeremiah Dwayne's in 6th. He's been strong all day. Nathan Faden, Daniel McMillan, Zachary Fitzwater, Sam Oskin out of the race. You see the guys right there. Ace Garcia's a lap down. Miller, Samadeo, Dalio, Troxel, all out from that accident. Here we go. How will the fresh tires roll this time around? Not quite halfway through the Sirius XM 400 yet. Ryan Durrani with a good run. Turner went to the outside. That's going to hurt the 77 here on this restart.
See those old tires on the 39 not helping him. He's got a whole packing of Toyotas all set to pounce all over him. Order's got the lead up front, but I don't think that's not going to hold up for long. Not with that whole hungry horde of cars chasing him down on 4 fresh tires.
Look at that run on the outside. The Quail's getting, though. Taps the outside wall. But you got to remember, he's got some damage. You see there on the right side of his race car from that prior incident, and that's going to slow him down a little bit on the straightaways. It could be a bit of an issue there in the middle. Dale Lightning coming through really quickly right there. Fisher G as well, but for the race lead, it's still Silas Orta holding on with Alexander Rowe now in second. Here comes Jeremiah Dwayne in the 67 to the inside.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, and around goes Keegan Thompson this time. But most of these guys are not going to save it. Yepez in the outside wall. Davidson and John Arndt with damage. Oh, boy.
Oh, Ace Garcia.
Tough break for those guys. Nikolai Sykes came up on Diego Yepez. And Keegan Thompson got spun off very, very highly. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but it wasn't too good for the driver of the number 5. It wasn't a good wreck there for Father Fruit Motorsports, and now the strategy game is going to be played again. Order's now coming down. Alexander Rowe going to join him, as Jeremiah Dwayne will stay out with a majority of the field to inherit the race lead.
Gotta wonder if Kansas was the last time we were on a 1.5 miles, correct?
Yes, it was.
You have to wonder if Alexander Rowe's team's trying to play a book out of Hairgel Arvin Alonso's team and see if, because we all thought Hairgel Arvin Alonso, when he pit right at about 32, 33 laps into the race, was pulling, we all thought they were pulling an Alan Gustafson, but when it came down late, he clearly had the best tires on his car and was able to make all the moves. Now, obviously, most of these guys only ran a lap, but it's going to be interesting to see. There's enough with the amount of chaos that could pursue. You never know. It could be the right move by him. We'll only have to wait and see.
We'll have to see how that all goes down for Alexander Rowe. Let's go ahead and see what happened to Keegan Thompson to bring out the 3rd caution of the night here at the Chicagoland Speedway. And all these guys, they were jammed up behind Wyatt Quayle there in the 39. I think that's why they were so bunched up here. LJ Cemento got in the rear of Keegan Thompson. You know, Alonso's going to have a bit of damage from this one in the 28. I got to admit, though, these guys did, other than Shane Lake and Trey Bartow. Oh, Bartow actually took a hard hit there. Yikes.
Well, Shane Lake could have gotten... Shane Lake was stuck in the middle lane of that, and oh my goodness.
He avoided that one. Davidson came in pretty fast there in the 95 and the sponsor car for the race. And then Ryan Benjamin somehow gets into the rear of Brad Stover, gets John Arndt, and they get collected. Cameron Garlington in the 34 back in there as well. And a lot of these wrecks that take place on the front stretch here at Chicagoland, it's always a bit of a mess here. We saw the 2 leaders last year, Yepez and Sam Medea last year. They got wrecked right at that very location they're all right now, and, you know, it can happen to anybody. Thankfully, this was kind of in the back of the field, and their leaders were kind of away from this one, but still, tough break for all those guys in the back here at Chicagoland.
See, just not really another situation where 4 wide, the 66 just hooking Keegan Thompson around in the front stretch, and nowhere to go for some of these guys. Davidson took a huge swing across that infield and into the outside wall. And we got more calamity on the restart. You know, as the laps wind down, the stakes rise, and you just got guys gunning for it all, trying to make up as much positions. Like we were saying on the initial start, you want to make up as much positions as you can on your fresh tires. And we see that here playing out late in the race.
Let's go on board Shane Lake, see what he had to see from that one. On board number 15 of Shane Lake, right behind this spin. Ooh, boy. You got a piece of it there. And then Sykes comes up, and it's calamity behind him. But Shane Lake got out of that one pretty good. We'll have to see what he can do the rest of this race here in the Sirius XM 400 from Chicagoland. We're back here at the Chicagoland Speedway. Already 3 cautions in this race. Lap 32 of 54, 23 to go, and we'll restart here in the Sirius XM 400. And it's been a wild one so far. I believe out of the race after that one will include Keegan Thompson, and that'll actually be it. Everyone else still able to continue. Not too much damage from anybody else in that wreck. Jeremiah Dwayne continues to lead. Our pole sitter didn't get the best of starts, but has stayed inside the top 5. Ryan Arani, Daniel McMillan is 3rd, Jesse Turner, both of these guys. If McMillan wins this race, he's in that wild card race, and Turner trying to get some points in the wild card race as well, especially considering that Andrew Miller has fallen outside the top 10. And you got Fitzwater rounding up the top 5. Back to racing here, lap 32 of 54 at Chicagoland. And Arani gonna have a good run to the inside for the race lead in the 68 machine. Look at McMillan going all over the place. He's gonna split the middle for the race lead.
And he's got help from Fitzwater. He's going to get the slightly higher lane over Durrani, see if he can pin him down to the inside. You got to watch out for that 67, though, too, because he does have the outside. But number 3 and 4, please, hopefully they don't wreck again. Clean so far.
McMillan almost tapping the outside wall. Durrani is going to lead lap 32, but here comes McMillan. Almost shut the door on Fitzwater. I don't know if you want to do that to Fitzy. Fitzy, it's been a while since he's won a race in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, as the yellow is back out again. Nikolai Sykes and last year's and 2-time winner, Chicagoland winner Cody Sill going around this time. Race back to the line. Sam and Oskin a little edgy there on Jeremiah Dwayne. Ryan Durrani will win the race back, and it's now Fitzy in 2nd, with McMillan and Dwayne rounding out the top 4. Well.
Well.
You were saying, you know, every time you're in the booth, the race is a little wild. Well, once again, it's a lot like Kansas. We had 5 cautions at Kansas, had 4 cautions last week. They got yellow fever going on in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series as of late here. Cody Sill has won the past 2 races here at Chicagoland, will not win it tonight in the 37. Tough break for those guys. Now the strategy gets played again. And at this point, I think everyone can make it. It's all about tires, and Durrani, I'm interested to see what they're thinking on this one. They're pulling an Alonso move right here, coming down for tires. That's going to put Zachary Fitzwater in the race lead.
You have to start scratching your head a little, at least with Rowe. You were coming to green with 23 to go, and I guess maybe anticipating a little bit of a green flag stretch. But we've now wrecked again, and you kind of have to start to wonder, unless this does go green the rest of the way, what really is tires going to do for you? Yeah. And on top of that, do you even have enough time left, unless there's a 15-car wreck in front of you, which on a single-file restart, that's not going to happen. Is pitting now even worth it, given the amount of time you're going to have left when we go back to green?
Yeah, well, we'll have to see with Durrani. We'll quickly review the accident and get back to the restart. Zachary Fitzwater up front in the 9. Let's see what happened between Cody Sill and Nikolai Sykes for the 4th caution of the night. Coming through the tri-oval, Nikolai Sykes had the damage from the prior accident. Brett Sear and Brad Stover get into him. And Cody still had nowhere to go. Yeah. I don't know. I think a lot of these accidents have really been caused by guys who have been in prior accidents. That's really why we've had a lot of yellows in this race. Fitzy, the new race leader. Durrani came down the pit lane. I don't know if that's a good strategy out of the 68 or not. We'll have to see. Under 20 to go here at Chicagoland in the Sirius XM 400. All right. 4th restart of the night. Getting a little bit crazy, even for Chicagoland standards. Lap 37 to 54. We've already had 4 yellows. Zachary Fitzwater, the leader of the race now, as Ryan Durrani came down the pit lane. Durrani is going to now slot in 28th. I do not understand that call whatsoever. Cody Steele's going to go a lap down, but nobody knocked out after that accident. Fitzwater, your race leader. McMillan has been up here. I don't know if he's led a lap in this race yet or not, but he's definitely been one of the strongest guys in this one. Then you got Jeremiah Dwayne, Sam, and Oskin all of a sudden in 4th, and Jesse Turner, and Fitzy didn't get going again.
But he's going to have McMillan all over the back of him. We've seen McMillan transitions down from top to bottom better than most of these guys do. 83, is that the...
Oh, boy!
Oh.
Jeremiah Dwayne got clipped there off of Gatlin Downey. Oh, brother. That was definitely intense right there.
He regroups it. Couple guys in the wall. He regroups it. And now if you're Fitzy, you just got to be sitting there. You got Turner, Chase looking to trying to clear the 83 of Sam and Oskin. If you're Fitzwater right now, you want to see that. You want to see no more yellows, and you want to see that chaos behind you as long as possible, because he hasn't had the best car all night, but he's got clean air now, so it's going to be interesting to see if he can just get up and go and drive away from this.
Yeah, you got Turner now clearing the 2nd. Jeremiah Dwayne to the inside of Sam and Oskin for 3rd. Gatlin Downey, Oskin's teammate, who is 38th in points, is up here. Dale Lightning is up here. Great run for Lightning. McMillan has fallen way back in the 79. This is the farthest back he's been all race. And here's Jalarvin Alonso. I got to give a lot of credit to this guy. American Motorsports as a team has struggled. Lightning and Garlington, not the best of seasons for them. Alonso, who's not had the best of careers, has definitely come on strong as of late here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Obviously won at Kansas, had a great run. Top 10 run at North Wilkesboro. Running top 10 right now, getting swarmed, though, by McMillan and Bradley Ream. It has not figured itself out quite yet for these guys. Mitchell Henderson's back here in the 47 as well. Surprisingly, he has not been involved in the wreck yet tonight. I got to knock hard for that one. But they keeping it together. Nathan Baird in the 16 up here as well, trying to back up his strong runs as of late. I mean, guys who are definitely winning here tonight, Alonso and Baird, because they're inside that top 10. Bradley Ream should move his way back inside the top 10 with this run, if he can hold on to it. Meanwhile, how about this one? 2 of the most legendary drivers in the series, Zachary Fitzwater and Jesse Turner, going after it. Fitzwater looking for his 10th career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory. Jesse Turner looking for his 21st career Napa Fan win. And Jeremiah Dwayne, who's never won before on Napa Fan, in an uncharted ride, going against them. How about this up front here at Chicagoland?
This is going to get interesting, because this 67 car clearly not... Oh, he slides up a little bit. 67 and Jeremiah Dwayne. He's got nowhere near the experience that the 2 guys he's racing, but I mean, he won the pole. He made it through. He made it through the hot seat. He made it to the pole. Hasn't led a whole lot. I don't know if he's actually even led a lap outside of some of the caution laps that he's held tonight, but holding his own up there against some of the best who ever done it here on this channel tonight. So even if he can't come out of here with a win, a top 5 is definitely going to be an impressive result for that team.
Exactly. In North State Racing, I mean, he's been the class of the team here tonight. Such a great run there for the 67. Jesse Turner, and then they're battling for second. That is music to Fitzwater's ears. Spotter telling them all that battling going on for the second position. I think Turner might get the best of Dwayne right here. Meanwhile, you got Gatlin Downey in 4th. Salmon Oskin, who's our points leader. This is really going to help solidify his spot in the chase if he can finish inside the top 5 here tonight. Nathan fading a great run for him. And I have yet to really mention Fisher T. He's inside the top 10 now. He's one of those wild card guys, and if he can get a good run here, he might be able to solidify a good spot on the wild card standings. Comes in 24th overall, but a good top 10 run for these guys would definitely help out. Bradley Ream, like we mentioned, was tied with Andrew Miller for the cutoff. Miller wrecked out of this race. Bradley Ream is going to most likely finish in the top 10 if things stay the way they're running right now. So it's looking pretty good right there for Bradley Ream to make it back inside the top 10 in points. And here, Jalarvin Lonzo, another 10th place run. That's what gets you in the chase, and that's what's gotten him in the chase. He's currently 8th in the points, 19 ahead. This will put him farther ahead of the cutoff, heading into the Pocono doubleheader next week. I will not count out, or should I say, I would not count out Jesse Turner right now in the 77. He is cleared for second. Jeremiah Dwayne starting to fall back in the 67. This doesn't quite have enough to battle with these guys racing up front. But Gatlin Downey's here as well. He could play spoiler here in this one at Chicagoland.
Turner just took he took almost 3/10 out of Fitzwater's lead. And we saw this earlier on a 1.5 mile in the All-Star race. Jesse Turner, who restarted the final segment, I don't even know if he was inside the top 10.
I think he restarted maybe 17th from that final segment in the All-Star race.
And went from 17th to 1st, passing Fitzwater on the last. Oh, here we go.
And, here's the thing, too. If we're closing in on if we get a caution, the race will end. And Fitzwater's going to have to maneuver around the lap cars of Nicolay Sykes and Patrick Smith, and Turner is closing into him here. Fitzy has not won this race yet. He's going to have to get around Nicolay Sykes to the inside. He lost some time there. We'll see if Turner's going to have the door open. He will!
Oh, my goodness.
Boy! Patrick Smith held him up. Here comes Turner in the 77 to the inside for the race lead with 5 laps to go in the Sirius XM 400. And don't look now. Here's our points leader, Salmon Oskin, back in the lead battle. He might make it 3 wide for the race lead, and he will. But Turner on the outside going to get the run. And Jesse Turner, looking for win number 21 of his career, has gotten around Zachary Fitzwater and is now starting to cruise to the race lead and pull away from Fitzy and Oskin. That has got to hurt for Zachary Fitzwater. Unbelievable.
He's got to be absolutely furious on the radio right now at that 30 car. Had no reason whatsoever to pull up in front of him like that. But he's got to shove. He's still got a couple laps left. He may, it's not over yet, but it's not gonna. He's not gonna be happy too.
You now got Ace Garcia and Cody Silk coming up here. It's only 3 laps to go, but Fitzy is still there. Fitzy does not want to let Turner win this race again. He lost the All-Star race to him. He does not want to lose this one to him. Fitzwater needs this win. He's 16th in points. This would put him right in prime position to make the chase. Turner would love to get the points as well. I think regardless, Turner doesn't necessarily need the win as much because he's already gotten one this season. But he's going to be going to tie John Arndt here tonight. 2 laps to go in the Sirius XM 400 at Chicagoland for Jesse Turner ahead of Zachary Fitzwater. This is getting intense up front.
And they're going to catch lap traffic about coming out of going into turn 1 on the final lap. This is going to get spicy here.
It is. White flag in the air for the Sirius XM 400 for Jesse Turner. Ace Garcia now holding him up. Here comes Fitzy. Salmon Oskin's going to help him. Salmon Oskin's going to make it 3 wide again. Oh, boy. Ace Garcia held them both up. Fitzwater trying to shoot the middle. And Salmon Oskin in the 83 to the inside. Looking for his 3rd win of the season. Cody Sill's going to hold up Fitzwater. Fitzwater's going to get a run in the outside lane. Here comes Turner in the 77 back to the inside. Salmon Oskin, 3rd win of the season. And 1 lap led all night long. Our points leader may just be the best driver this season. Salmon Oskin for Hamill Racing Enterprises does it again here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. I thought it was going to be between Turner and Fitzwater, but no, sir. Salmon Oskin who's a rookie to the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, but he's been around on Napa Fan a little while, put the best of Fitzy and Turner in this one, and he is going to go to victory lane. Oh my.
And if you're if you are Fitzwater and if you are Turner right now, I mean, you have to be absolutely livid.
And I want to mention this one thing before you go any further. Ace Garcia is Sam Oskin's teammate. just to add to it right there. Now, for Turner, I will say for Turner, it's not as much of a loss as it is for Fitzy. And even for Fitzy, I think he might have enough points to make it into the top 10 after tonight, after all that we've seen. For Turner, though, he got a lot of points, and that's really what counts. He didn't get the maximum amount of points, but he did not need the win. Winning this race would not have really added anything to his shot at making the chase except a few more points. Of course, every point matters, but considering what we saw here tonight, Turner did a good job in that regard. Obviously not going to be happy about losing the race. Same with Fitzwater. But, oh my goodness, first driver to win 3 races this season. His name is Sam Oskin, and he's playing in a lot like Nathan Baer did last year. You know, a veteran Napa fan who's a rookie in the Cup Series. And he's not only is he a rookie in the Cup Series, driving for the best team in the Cup Series, Hamel Racing Enterprises. But I did not see that coming out of Oskin. 1 lap led all night long. What do you make of that race? You thought Kansas was crazy. This was even wilder.
Now, that was an interesting race there. You got a lot of, they wrecked, as like Kansas, they wrecked a lot in the middle phases of that race when a lot of guys under restart, but finally sorted it out. And, you know, it's kind of funny how every time we come to one of these longer racetracks, somehow lap cars always end up somehow deciding in some way who ends up winning. And, you know, like you led on to, Ace Garcia didn't have a great race, kind of got tangled up with 75, but he pulled one good time block on Jesse Turner, held him and Fitzwater up, and Sam Oskin's going to come through 3rd win of the season in only 16 races now.
17 races, but still Sam Oskin,
but
he's good at these mile-and-a-half racetracks. The sad thing is, this is the last true mile-and-a-half race we have this season. He won Texas, he won the Coke 600, and he's won here tonight. All different lengths as well, so he's pretty good at these mile-and-a-half racetracks. I can see the comments that Fitzwater is making now. Angry in all caps probably 20 times, but I do not blame him in any such way. He had to get around lap traffic twice, and they were not good with them. Turner only got held up once. He actually got benefited by it, pulled away, and then Oskin came through and just got past both of them. That was amazing. Oskin's definitely going to have a good shot at this championship this year, especially after that race victory. You got to think, too, each race victory you have, as long as you're top 10 in points, that gets you 3 bonus points towards the chase. So Oskin's now got 9 bonus points. If he's the points leader, he'll enter the chase with 24 points ahead of everyone else. Not necessarily ahead of everyone else because other guys will get bonus points as well, but he'll have 24 points. He'll have an advantage heading into the chase with all these race victories, and if he's the points leader, of course, he came into this race the points leader, ended up finishing in first. He'll still be the points leader at the end of the night, no doubt about it. Guys knocked out of the race: Tristan Allen, Keegan Townsend, Andrew Miller, Nicholas Samadeo, Matt Dahlia. That's a tough one for him because he came into this race on a hot streak, got that race victory. He was running well, got wrecked out. Troxel, Whitlock, I mean, he's 3rd in the points coming in. He's not going to be 3rd in the points coming out, I'll tell you that much. Iquan has him there, another one of his wildcard guys. He's really going to have to really, like, win the next 3 races if he's going to have a shot. Eli Bright, tough break for those guys in the back of the field. But my goodness, I really thought it was going to be between Turner and Fitzwater, but a rookie just comes out of nowhere. I think it's cool to mention, too, Bradley Ream finished 4th in this race. That was a clutch move out of that team because that was the best he ran all night. Ended up 4th. Fisher G as well. Those are 2 guys who are up there trying to get into their respective positions in the chase, and they both capitalized on that one here tonight. Next race is actually, we got a doubleheader at Pocono, and before you go like, oh, Pocono, it's pretty good in there 2003. Maybe not as crazy as tonight, but let me tell you, a couple of years ago, this guy sitting next to me won there at the Tricky Triangle, so it's a pretty good track. So we decided to do 2 races there this year, one right after another. we're going to have the Kalahari Resorts 350 next Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Napa Fan. A little bit early for a Chick-fil-A Cup Series race. And then the next day at 11 a.m., it's the Hers Forever Good 400 from Pocono Raceway as well. 2 races back-to-back late in the regular season. It's going to shake up those chase standings heading into Indianapolis July 4th. It's going to get crazy here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, as it already has. Final thoughts on this whole thing, Matt. What are you looking forward to next week at Pocono?
Definitely. Oh, I forgot I don't drive anymore. Pocono's always an interesting race. It's I would say fuel mileage could definitely be interesting, but the alternate lengths too is going to be an interesting wrinkle into the race, because it's not like we're running two races of the same length. You got one slightly shorter and one a little bit longer, so it'll make it an interesting weekend there. Definitely going to be interesting to see. Not often that we have a doubleheader here, so anytime you can get one of those,
first time we've actually tried it too, and doing it at Pocono has just been a pretty decent track for racing in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series the past few years. Always had some interesting ones there at the Tricky Triangle. Tomorrow morning, or should I say tomorrow afternoon, because it will be in the afternoon, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, it is Napa, Indy, California, and the Haas IndyCar Series. They're back. We'll see if Chase Harris can continue his dominance over there in the Haas IndyCar Series in the 4th race of the season. I'll hopefully be joined alongside Mike and after the call of that one, so it should be a good one for their 4th race of the season. But thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Samit Oskin, your race winner here at Chicagoland. 3rd win of the season ahead of Turner and Fitzwater, and my, oh my, what a race it was. Here are the points for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series with only 3 races remaining in the regular season before the chase cutoff. It's gonna get interesting. We'll have to see who's in position to make it into the chase after this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. On behalf of Matt Tuck, congratulations to Sam and Oskin once again, and I will see you guys later.